Yo, what's going on guys, Dwarves here and welcome back to a brand new video here on the channel. Today, we're going to be taking a look at Sue Storm's gameplay and a full breakdown of how all her abilities are going to work as Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman, will be coming to Marvel Rivals at the beginning of Season 1 with Mr. Fantastic. We already broke down his gameplay last night and you can watch that video. It's the last video on my channel, but this one's all about Invisible Woman, who is going to be a strategist, and I know she already has a lot of fans who want to play her based on the trailer alone. But this time, we get to look at her abilities. So starting off, you can see her MVP screen. Looks really cool. She's making a bubble, stopping all of these incoming missiles, but this isn't exactly how her kit works. So, because she's a strategist, let's talk about her primary fire. If you look down here, she gets 10 ammo per magazine. I guess if you call it a magazine, it's not really a gun, but her primary fire will damage and heal enemies, just like many other strategists. But this one's pretty cool because you can fire it and it goes pretty far in the distance, but then it will rebound and come right back at you. So even if you don't hit anyone, you can see that it bounces back. If we slow this down, you can see right here, she misses Thor and it comes right back. So you fire it and it comes right back. And that means you can hit enemies and your teammates at the same time with this and heal multiple people while also damaging the enemies. It's pretty cool. You can see she fires it, it comes right back. She fires it, it comes right back. In fact, I think in this shot, should we see if it damages twice? It does. So here, when she shoots at Thor, you can see she throws it out, it's damaged once, and then it turns around and comes back and damages him again. And of course, there's these 3 little shards, so I guess it's dealing damage with all of those. So that's a pretty unique way that this primary fire works. So that's her primary fire. It's definitely going to be pretty interesting, and it will come back to where you're standing. So if you shoot and then you sort of move, it will kind of fly towards you. So as long as you put yourself between where you're shooting and the enemy, you should get some hits with this weapon. Now, let's talk about her first ability that's showcased, which actually is her double jump. So here you can see when she's in the air, she gets a double jump and it sends her, it kind of increases her speed. It's pretty nice. You get some good momentum with this and she turns invisible for a short period of time. I don't know if she's fully invisible here or if it's just a cool animation, but she goes invisible there for a very small period of time. And the cooldown on the double jump looks to be 6 seconds. So after 6 seconds, you'll be able to pop a double jump again, which is definitely really good. It gives her survivability as it's shown in this clip. You know, if the Thor's pushing you, you can close the gap and get more of those shots off, which are really good because they deal pretty nice damage when you're just constantly going at the same person. But then we have her shift ability, which has a 12-second cooldown, and you just saw her cast it. It will throw out this psionic vortex, but you can actually ignite it at any point. So I think if it hits the ground, it will immediately ignite on its own, and then it will create this area where enemies are damaged over time in it. So it's just constantly ticking down at Thor. You can see it's just constantly depleting his health. Now, in the gameplay trailer, you can't really see it, but I believe this will also heal your teammates. It makes a lot of sense for this ability to also heal your teammates. But you notice when she threw it out, it said right here, left shift to ignite. Now, this means you can actually ignite it while it's in midair, and I think you do actually see her do that here. Later on in the trailer, you can see, look, her vortex is floating in the air. There's no objects here. It's just floating because she was able to ignite it, and that's because she was shooting at this Iron Man. If you look, the Iron Man's here, and she's going to send out her vortex, and then she pops it, and it appears in the air, which is pretty nice. So you can really attack anyone with this vortex, and it looks like it does some pretty nice damage, especially when fighting on the objective. It's going to be really annoying. But let's see what other abilities she has. Now, I believe she has a passive that does let her go invisible, but in the gameplay, you can't really see it. Like right here, look, she's just invisible. Now, I believe because there's no actual button to press to turn invisible, it looks like this will be a passive a bit like Lunar Snow, where if you've not fired or if you've not used an ability for so long, you will just go invisible. Because if you take a look, her invisibility instantly stops as soon as you use an ability. So I think if you're not shooting or using an ability, then you'll be invisible while playing as Invisible Woman. So it's just a passive ability that exists and will definitely keep you alive. But how often are you not using abilities? I guess when you are rotating, or if your teammates are dead, I guess then you will pop that. But the invisibility seems pretty sick if that's how it's going to work. And I think that is exactly how it's going to work. But then we get another ability right here, which is her E ability, which creates this tunnel, this psionic tunnel that you can see here. But you get an option. So when you're casting it, you'll see where the tunnel will go. And you can left click to launch outwards or right click to launch inwards. And this means you can pull or push enemies with this. So in this case, she pushed the Captain America away to push him off the map. Here again, you can see her invisible, and when using her double jump, this doesn't stop you being invisible. Look at that. Double jump doesn't cancel invisibility, but abilities do. So she pops her right-click ability, and this also stops her being invisible. Now, what is her right-click ability? Well, it's a shield. You can see right here, when you're hovering over a teammate, it will say right-click to shield. And what this does is it actually just puts this circular barrier in front of them that's stationary. It doesn't stay with them. It's not like a bubble. It's just a shield that will spawn in front of where they were at the time, and it will stay there. Now, at any point, if you look in the bottom right, you can press F and you can take this shield down if it's hindering you, but it looks like you can shoot through the shield, but the enemies can't shoot back through it. Of course, it's a one-way teammate shield. And you may have already noticed it has 300 health total. When she first casts it, it's got 300 health, so it's not a massive shield, but it's going to be pretty handy. You know, you can just pop this, but because it only goes in front of you, I think it will be pretty easy to counter this kind of shield. You're definitely going to make sure you want to use it in the right situations, but it also only has a 6-second cooldown, which really isn't that bad. You can constantly have these things up. Again, we saw another example of her E ability, the Psionic tunnel, but this time right-clicking to pull him inwards. And actually, at this point, she does have a voice line where she interacts with Namor, so yes, we will be having Invisible Woman and Namor interactions.
You have no clue how long I've wanted to do that, Namor.
So now that we've seen her main abilities, what is her ultimate? Well, this thing is pretty sick. It creates a giant area that will heal your teammates and make them invisible. And the way you place it is, once you press your ult, you will get to place it kind of anywhere near you. You can look around and see exactly where you want to put it. Now, where you place it, it will create this giant circular barrier, and it will create a huge chamber that the enemies can see, a little bit like the Cloak and Dagger Moon Knight combo. And then this will just make everyone invisible. You can obviously see all the projectiles coming through, just like with the Moon Knight Cloak and Dagger combo, but everyone in here is invisible, and this thing lasts for a pretty long time. Let's see if we go back. Does it show exactly how long this thing lasts? 8 seconds. So it's going to be up for 8 seconds of pure invisibility in this giant area, which will be pretty nice because it's such a large area. It's going to be hard for people to kind of know where you're going to be. And the fact you get healing at the same time looks like healing over time, because when the ult is popped, everyone's pretty low health. And then when it cuts back to this perspective, everybody is on full health, which is pretty nice. So there you go. That right there is Invisible Woman's entire kit. Honestly, her primary fire is super unique, the way that it boomerangs back to you, and all of her abilities seem really nice for a strategist. She can shield her teammates, she can push and pull enemies, she can double jump to save herself, she has her damaging vortex, and her ultimate lets you all go invisible, along with the fact that she just goes invisible whenever she's not using her abilities, which is going to be a lot of fun. So hopefully you enjoyed the breakdown. It was kind of a different style than usual, as we were just kind of going through the YouTube video and slowing it down. I thought it would make sense to just record this live rather than edit it in post. So let me know what you guys think. And we also do have a skin to look at. Now, Invisible Woman will also be releasing with a special skin. We did see a sneak peek of this when they released the trailer for the Maker skin that Mr. Fantastic was getting, but at the end you can see that Invisible Woman will be getting a Malice skin. Now, a lot of people, when they heard Invisible Woman was coming to the game, they did request the Malice skin, and it looks like these people will be happy, because even in this picture alone, the skin looks awesome. But we can also see there was some leaked gameplay of Invisible Woman with the Malice skin, and I believe the trailer for the Malice skin will be out pretty soon. But as we are getting this video out early, I thought I'd showcase it in this one so you know what to expect. And yeah, I think this skin is definitely gonna sell for more reasons than one. You can probably guess why this skin is going to sell a lot. But yeah, they definitely cooked with the 2 skins for the release of the Fantastic Four. We did have the Maker for Mr. Fantastic, and this Malice skin is just the cherry on top for Invisible Woman. So let me know what you guys think of Invisible Woman, along with the skin that she'll be getting. Are you going to be maining her? It will be nice to have more strategist mains in the game, so I won't be against it, and I think she's a pretty awesome character. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.